Comedy Out Productions.
I was looking at the calendar and I realized 420 is tomorrow. Is that a special day to you?
Yeah.
Why is that?
It's the 1 year anniversary of my last album, All Roads Lead to Kemet. You know?
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me a year ago?
Tomorrow will be a year. Yeah.
Wow.
I'm gonna have a 1-year-old baby.
A 1-year-old baby? All right, that's cool. So what does that mean to you though? Like, it's 1 year. Okay, so usually when people drop music or whatever, they drop their album, then it's like, all right, that's it. It's just in the clouds, or it's wherever you can find it, right? But
Yeah.
what does this album, is this a special album, or is it something that you just decided to just throw together?
Nah, it's special because it's my life after my after a long incarceration.
Mm-hmm.
So it's my life from that point pretty much to the present, all in one capsule.
Mm-hmm.
So, if anybody want to know who I am as a person, all you gotta do is play that album.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. All you gotta do is press play. You're gonna get a more than just the gist of who I am, and what I'm about, my stance in life, and things that I cherish, stuff like that.
Okay, things that you cherish. So if you could name one song off that album that you'd be like, yo, this is my favorite, this is my go-to for whatever reason, which one well, first, before you even answer that, how many songs is on this album?
15.
15.
Yeah.
It's a 15 track.
Yeah, 15.
That means I know too, right?
15 songs.
15 songs. So out of the 15, what is one that you like? You know what, yo, this is my favorite. I can bump this at any time.
All of them.
All of them?
All of them. Now, to be honest, if I had to pick just one, if I had to just pick one to give a person the gist of the album, just one track, it'll probably be Treason.
That's one of my favorites. Why Treason? Why Treason?
Treason, it's not the first song that I wrote on it, but it's the first song that I wrote where I knew the direction of where the album was going. Because I had, what's the name of the song? Nothing at All?
Yeah.
I wrote that song first, probably 2 years before I even started writing the album, and I just put that song to the side. I knew it was gonna be on the album, but I didn't have a concept for it to fit anywhere. Then, some things in life had happened, and I ended up moving to a new environment, and it made me feel away. Just to simplify it, made me feel away. And just that living situation and life situation made me put the pen to the paper, and the Treason, in the way that came out, I knew it fit with that other song, but there was other songs that I needed to surround it with. So it was that song, Treason, that gave me, all right, this is gonna be a new album, and I know exactly where it's gonna go now. You get what I'm saying?
So you believe that Treason is what gave your album direction?
Yeah,
You said
it was the fire.
So without going
It was
into
the fuel and the fire.
Okay, so without going into too much detail, because honestly, anybody wants to hear Nothing at All, they can just go find it, Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, all those different places. They can go and find that song.
Yeah.
But with that song and Treason, I've heard those songs, and so it's how do you feel that they connect though? because you said that you knew that there was going to be some other songs that had to go in there, but you have those two. Those two are like, you know, they kind of different, but yet.
Yeah, I guess because I know it was going to be, when I started writing Treason, the other song, Nothing at All, is very personal, you know? It's a personal life song. When I wrote Treason, that was a personal life song too. It was things that were happening in my life, like in real time. So that's how I knew it was like, all right. When I came up with the title, All Roads Lead to Kemet, it was gonna go in a whole different direction at one point. Like just thinking about it, you know? Like this title, All Roads Lead to Kemet. I can direct that in so many different ways, but once Treason came out and it was so personal, you know, once I combined that song with Nothing at All, that the album was meant to be personal about nothing else but about what's going on right now in life. So I had 15. Matter of fact, it was going to start off with 12. No, matter of fact, it was going to start off with only 7. It was only going to be 7 songs. So once I got to 7, I knew there was loopholes in the story where it was going to leave it with too many questions. So I wanted to hit anything you could ask. It was already in the album. So
like a
timeline, chronological order. I knew there was some things that were missing. Some of them were going to be like super personal to where you don't even know if you want to put that on the album. You know, like it's so super personal like that, but you know, the kind of artist that I am, you have to, if you're gonna tell it, you're gonna tell it all. You know, you open the Pandora's box and you mention the things that involve other people and all of that can trigger a whole lot of different shit. So why not just fully just tell everything?
Right.
You know, and let the chips fall where they may. That's how I looked at it.
That makes sense. Because one thing I know about you is that you are open book. You're not afraid to tell your story because you rather tell your story than have someone else tell it. That's one thing that, you know, being around you and conversations we've had.
I'm private in my real life, but on music, I talk about everything.
Yeah, that's a fact. So like you said, if anybody want to know who Trizzmatic is, they can go ahead and listen to the album and just let you know. And one thing I have to say to you is that I commend you for that, because a lot of people, when they get behind the mic and they writing or whatever, they always put music out that they people just want to hear. But you said, you know what? This is going to give you something that you want to hear, but not only that, you can take something away from each song, you know, and that's powerful. You know, for you to really break down, talking like from the voice in the yard. Like the way you opened that up, that was dope. Matter of fact, what made you open up with that song? Because I know you probably was moving things around, but...
I opened up with it because once I found the direction, I knew where I had to start. Because I did a demo project. I called it an album at one point, but it's called a Reconstruction, but it's just a demo album. And that one was pretty much life in prison. So All Roads Lead to Kemet had to almost be the follow-up to that, you know? To be the follow-up to that, and then you have to start. Where does this story start? Prison.
Right.
So I had to start it with that, and then leave prison, and then as life is unfolding, you know, I wrote about those things. And that's why I had to start like that, like to let people know where I'm coming from. All roads lead to Kemet, that means you're on a direction. You're going somewhere. But you have to let people know sometimes, you know, where you're coming from.
Right.
So it makes sense to me why you're going the direction that you're going. You know, I never wanted my music to be like a mystery. You know, like just something you play, you know. Now I want when you playing Trizzmatic music, you know who he is, where he came from, what he about, where he going, what he aspires to, what he envisions. Like, I'm one of those kind of artists. You know, I'm not just some generic person. You just press play and be like, yo, that's a cool song. Nah, like we got a lot to talk about. You know, a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss, and a lot to bring to hip hop culture. You know?
Right. Okay. So, our roads lead to Kemet.
Yeah.
1 year anniversary.
Yeah.
420.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm thinking of doing part 2.
Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. That's gonna be
I've been
lit.
thinking about it for a while.